morning students, welcome to economics class. In previous class we discussed about some types of the poverty. There is mainly three types are there in poverty. So first one is the chronic poor. In that again two types, always poor and usually poor. And second is the transient poor. So in that transient poor there is two types. So first one is the churning poor and occasionally poor, and third types of poverty is the non-poor or never poor. So in previous class also we discussed about the poverty line. So poverty line, it is nothing but it separates the poor people and non-poor people. So in that poverty line we categorizing the or determine or examine the poverty line to consumption or per capita income. So per capita income is the 816 rupees 860 to the rural and rupees 1000 rupees in urban areas to satisfy their basic needs, not luxury needs. Okay. So as well as intake calories in the rural area is the 2400 calories, as well as in urban a person will take a per day intake calorie is 2100 calories. So today class we discuss about the what are the causes of poverty. So poverty in the ಏನೇನು effect ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. So poverty is nothing but poverty is a hunger. Okay. So poverty ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು starvation ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ hunger ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. They cannot meet their basic needs. They not possible to meet their basic needs. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರ basic needs ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಫುಡ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, food and safe drinking water, shelter and education. So nowadays education is also basic needs. So these are the basic needs. Then poor people not meet these basic needs ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So poor people sick is being a sick. Okay. So poor people being a sick and they not possible to see a doctor because they don't have that much of money to see a doctor and take a medicine for illness. Okay. So there is some health issues are there. Okay. And serious health issues are there. They cannot meet the basic needs also. Okay. So then there is a first cause of the poverty is the social, economic and political inequalities. So there is a social inequalities there and economic inequalities there and political inequalities also there. So why? Because there is a inequality. Why? Because means so poverty is a hunger. They cannot possible to meet their basic needs. Okay. So and they not possible to meet the education. So they not possible to get quality education. So ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ quality education ತಗೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ poor people. So that's why the social, economic and political inequality in the India ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So next there is a social exclusion. So social exclusion ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ poor people so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು quality education ತಗೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ and they don't know about the how to write and how to read and how to react with the people. So that is there is a social exclusion ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So next there is a unemployment. So unemployment means poor people not possible to meet the quality education. So ಅವರಿಗೆ quality education ತಗೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. So and they not possible to get the equal job. So ಅವರು ಏನಾಗ್ರಿ quality education ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರಿಗೆ. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ equality job ಕೂಡ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. So that's why there is a rise in the unemployment rate. Okay. So next indebtedness ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So indebtedness means here poor people are borrowing money from money lenders. Okay. So money lenders ಇಂದ ಅವರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಮನಿ ಬಾರೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೈ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಟಿಗೆ ಮನಿನ ಬಾರೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ poor people borrowing money from money lenders at the high interest rate. So poor people not pay that high interest rate. ಸೊ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೈ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಂಡೆಪ್ಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಬರೀ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪೇ ಮಾಡೋದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. poor people borrow money from the money lenders at the high interest rate, then the poor people not possible to pay at least interest rate ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಲೋನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಬಾರೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಮನಿ ಅಂತ ಇಂಡೆಪ್ಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅದು ಸಾಲ ಆಗಿನೇ ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಮಟನ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಬಾರೋ ಮನಿ ಆಗಿನೇ ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆ ಒಂದು ಗಾದೆ ಐತ್ರಿ, ಸಾಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ತುಪ್ಪ ತಿನ್ನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡೆಪ್ಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಪೂರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಮನಿನ ಬಾರೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಟ್ ದ ಹೈ ರೇಟ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್. So next is the unequality distribution of wealth. Why? Because there is unequality distribution of wealth antandre there is a poor people not possible to meet quality education and there is a increase in the unemployment rate. So there is a unequal distribution of wealth. Okay. So next, low capital formation. So low capital formation means here aggregate poverty is just the sum of individual poverty. So in ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, aggregate poverty ತಗೋತೀವಿ. So aggregate poverty ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ total individual poverty. So aggregate poverty is nothing but it is the total individual poverty. So if there is a increase in the poverty, if there is a increase in the poverty, then there is a low capital formation is also increases. Why? Because poor people not possible to meet their basic needs, then there is a how possible to increase in the capital formation. So next, lack of infrastructure. If there is an increase in the poverty, then there is a lack of capital formation. So how can it possible to increase in the infrastructure? Increase in the infrastructure. Then lack of demand for the goods. Lack of demand for goods, essential goods. Okay. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, lack of demand for the goods. So why? Because poor people earning not so much money and there is a demand for goods is also decreasing. So demand for goods is decreasing, then production is also decreasing. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ demand for goods decrease ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ production ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ decrease ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So next, pressure of population. So ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ultimate low capital formation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Next, lack of infrastructure ಐತಿ and there is a lack of or decrease in the demand for the goods and services, but there is a increase in the population. Next, lack of social welfare and less economic opportunities. So here poor people not possible to meet basic needs as well as quality education and there is an increase in the unemployment and they don't know about how to utilize the resources as well as how to use or how to utilize the social resources as well as there is a less economic opportunities to the poor people ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So these are the factors causes to the poverty in India ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So it is an important concept and it is a 6 marks question for your examination. Okay. Next concept is the policies and programs towards the poverty alleviation. So as we discuss about the some causes of the poverty, so poverty ಇಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಏನೇನು ಕಾಸಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ initiated some policies and programs to reduction the poverty. So poverty alleviation is nothing but reduction the poverty and provide the basic needs to the poor people as well as create employment opportunities in India. So poverty alleviation programs main aims is reduce the rate of the poverty in the country by providing the proper access to food, monetary help and basic essential goods and services and creating the employment opportunities. So in that poverty alleviation programs, the government's approach to poverty reduction was of 3 dimensions. So 3 dimensions of the poverty na ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಇದು reduce ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So what are those 3 dimensions means there is a growth oriented approach and food for work program and provide basic needs. So in the case of growth oriented approach ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ growth ಎಲ್ಲ growth ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ agriculture growth ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅವರು and increase in the industry as well as increase in the service sector also. Now next, food for work program. So it is initiated in the third ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ 5 plans started 1951 as we discuss about second chapter. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ growth means increase in the agriculture sector, increase in the development in the industrial sector, and food for work program. It is initiated in third 5-year plan. So in that there is a self-employment program is there and wage employment program is there. So next providing the basic needs. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಫುಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡೋದು, ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಮಾನಿಟರಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿಂಗ್ employment opportunities. So these are the 3 dimensions to reduce the poverty alleviation. So next there is a first 5-year plan ಒಳಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, first 5-year plan started initiated 1951 to 1956. So in that they focused only on the agriculture. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, agriculture ಮೇಲೆ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, because increase in the productivity, okay, and agriculture as well as increase in the irrigation system. Increase in the irrigation system. It is initiated in the year 1951 to 56. So in first 5-year plan. So in the second 5-year plan 1956 to 61. So second 5-year plan ಒಳಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ, they focus only on the growth of industries. Means ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, development of the industries. They focused on the industries and as well as increase in the employment opportunities. Increase in the employment opportunities in the second 5-year plan 1956 to 61. So next comes to the first approach, 3 dimensions. First approach, growth oriented approach. So in that growth oriented approach means here increase in the GDP or increase in the economic growth. So increase in the economic growth means here we have to increase the employment opportunities. So in the economic growth agbekanದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, increase in the employment opportunities, okay, and increase in the production ಆಗಬೇಕ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ನಮ್ದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ increase in the production ಆಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ provide the essential goods to the poor people, providing the essential goods to the poor people. Then increase in the GDP, if there is a increase in the production and increase in the demand for the goods increases, then there is a production increases, then there is a economic also increases and increase in the GDP. So increase in the per capita income. So increase in the per capita income, individual income increase ಆಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ provide the essential or expand the employment opportunities to the poor people. People ಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿನ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ per capita income increase ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. per capita income increase ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ increase ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ increase ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ increase ಆಗುತ್ತೆ and economic increase ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, as well as GDP is also increasing. Next, rapid industrial development. In the growth oriented approach there is that focused on industrial development. So in the case of industrial development, so they adopting the modern technology. So adopting the modern technology. So industry ಒಳಗೆ modern technology adopt ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, we have to produce the more number of goods and services, means here increase in the production. Next, transformation of agriculture through green revolution. So green revolution and now second chapter of module. So green revolution, in that green revolution initiated HYV seeds. HYV seeds means high yield variety seeds ಅನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ವಿ ನೋ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ there is a low productivity in agriculture. Why? Because there is a lack of irrigation system, lack of electricity, as well as there is a lack of irrigation system. That's why there is a lack of productivity in agriculture. So adopting the HYV seeds, that will be increase the production, and farmers also adopting the cash crops as well as food crops. So cash crops in the farmers farmers they can earn more profit from the production. So cash crops examples ಅಂದ್ರೆ cotton ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, jute ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, coffee ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, so tea ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. So ಇವು cash crops. ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೆಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್ ದ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ HYV seeds cash crops. ಸೊ ಈ ಫುಡ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ wheat ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಕಾರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಸಮ್ ಫುಡ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಅವರು ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ growth oriented approach. There is mainly growth in the economic and growth in the economic as well as growth in the GDP. Next, increase in the per capita income, that is increase in the employment opportunities, and there is a focused as well as the industrial development, means adoption of the modern technology and transformation of agriculture. There is a modern agriculture system, means here adoption of the green revolution. In that we have to adopt, farmers have to adopt HYV seeds, high yield variety seeds ಅಂತ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. So in the case of growth oriented approach, so increase in the economic, increase in the GDP, increase in the per capita income, so that is not possible to increase as well as economic whole growth. So ಬರೀ increase ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮದು poverty decrease ಆಗುತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. So that's why growth oriented approach is not successful in India ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So growth oriented approach is not being successful in India ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So it is ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So what do you mean by the growth oriented approach to poverty reduction and why it is not successful in India ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So growth oriented approach is nothing but increase in the economic growth and increase in the GDP, increase in the per capita income. So that is a growth oriented approach. As well as so population growth has resulted in a very low growth in PCI. So population increase ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇದೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಒಳಗ, per capita income ಏನೈತ್ರಿ low decreasing ಒಳಗೆ. So that's why not possible to increase in the PCI. Okay, so there is a economic growth ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು, increase GDP ಬೇಕು. So increase in the per capita income ಬೇಕು. Per capita income ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ there is a increase in the population. So there is a per capita income is decreases. That's why the growth oriented approach is not being successful in India ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So this is about growth oriented approach. So today class we discuss about the causes of poverty and what are the policies and programs towards the reducing the poverty. So the government initiate mainly 3 dimensions. There is a growth oriented approach. Today we have discussed about the growth oriented approach, and in next class we discuss about the second dimensions as well as third dimensions in the next class. Thank you.